Hey guys, I'm Brenda Breland and I'm here to chat all things health, fitness, mindset, and business. I will be sharing how transforming my body allowed me to transform my life and how you can do the same. So grab a cup of coffee or your favorite cocktail. I'm so excited you're here. Let's get unfiltered.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered. I am your host, Brenda Breland, and today this is a little bit of a unplanned recording. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, you guys can see like I was not prepared to record a podcast today. I didn't get ready, nothing. I got into town last night from the retreat I attended and immediately thought, I want to record a podcast and share with you guys some of my experience, why I chose to do the retreat, and some of the takeaways that I got from it. I got a lot of questions while I was gone. So let's dig in. So first and foremost, I decided to do this retreat for a couple of different reasons. First, I felt like I was starting to become my business. Okay. And what I mean by that is every second of every day, I was focusing on my business. I was not doing the things that I needed to do to be present. I felt like I was chasing those goals constantly. And I know these things are not good for you, right? I also felt like, over the last year, I've transformed my business. Okay. I've gone from making, 3K months to making 30K months. Okay. And I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys on all of this. And in this transition, when you think about being a business coach, you think, okay, I'm making more money than I ever thought I could make. And I should be happy. I should be thriving. I should want to go to work every day. I should want to do all these things. And it just wasn't there for me. Okay. It wasn't there. I don't want this to sound like I am ungrateful, because I am incredibly grateful for everything that life has given me, for all of the work that I have been able to put into this business over the last 3 years. I'm incredibly grateful for every client or person who I've connected with or talked to online who has supported me in this journey. So I don't want this to sound like it's coming from a place of being ungrateful. This is coming from a place of needing to know and remind myself who I am and that I am not my business. Okay. I am not just a mom. I am not just a wife. I am not just a business owner. I am more than that. And I lost sight of who that was. And I went to my husband and I said, hey, I really want to do this retreat. And he didn't quite understand, but him being the person he is and knowing my personality, he just said, okay, whatever you feel like you need to do, we'll make it work. Mind you, he is in his season right now. So if you don't know, my husband's a college baseball coach. And from January into May, really, he's gone. Like we're like ships passing in the night, right? So for me to leave town during this time is very hard, but we figured it out. I made plans. We had someone come for the kids, and I decided to book the flight, book the retreat, and go. Mind you, this retreat, I chose not to go on this retreat with anyone that I knew. And how these retreats work is you purchase the retreat, like what types of practices and things are going to go on, but you don't have a schedule. You have no idea who's going to be there. The only thing they tell you is you need to be here at this time, and here's the time that we'll leave. And if you need to bring something, like it said, bring comfy clothes, bring a, outfit, bring some swimsuits, a water bottle, those types of things, but that's it. So immediately, this was everything outside of my comfort zone, because I like control. Okay. I like to know what the fuck's going on and when it's going on. And I want to know exactly what outfits I need to bring and know all of those things. Well, I didn't know any of this. Okay. So the whole week leading up to me leaving, normally, if I'm going to Mexico, you guys, I am fucking like ready. Okay. I'm ready to go. I'm packing a week ahead of time. I'm buying a bunch of shit, but I noticed a trend for myself for this retreat. I didn't buy anything. I did buy a dress and I sent it back. I didn't pack until the day before. And the day before I left, my husband was like, hey, are you getting excited? And I just looked at him and I was like, I'm excited to go, but I'm not excited. I'm actually really anxious. And you guys, I could have like literally thrown up on the way to the airport because I text my husband this. I said, I'm so anxious. I could throw up. I really hope I don't regret this. And that's what I said to him. I mean, on a text message, I could screenshot it for you right now. And he was like, it's fine. This is worth it. Like, go enjoy yourself. So not to mention a whole nother story is that the resort was in Bacalar, Mexico. Well, that is 4.5 hours from Cancun. Okay. Me, without realizing it, I book a flight to Cancun, not to Chetumal, which was the airport I was supposed to be in. So I had to pay a very large amount of money for someone to drive me 4 hours to the resort and back to the airport because I messed it up. Right. So that was a whole nother anxious, like, what the fuck am I going to do feeling on top of it? So all of this is going on. Right. And I'm feeling super anxious, very uncomfortable. I'm traveling alone. I know no one, and I get there. And the minute you walk into the resort, you see like these turquoise blue waters. And when I say turquoise, I mean literally turquoise, like you can see right through it. It was the most beautiful, like magical thing I've ever seen. I arrive, I get checked into the room. Again, this resort is very small. There's only 14 rooms on the whole resort. And I get there, we meet each other, we kind of introduce ourselves, we say why we're there. There was only 7 other women there with me. And it was very uncomfortable the first night, sitting at a table with people you've never met, introducing yourself, sharing vulnerable parts of why you're there with these people who you've never talked to a day in your life. But yet I felt uncomfortable, but I felt at ease, right? I felt like once I got there, I knew I was supposed to be there and that everything was going to be okay. The next key to this is I had planned on doing some work before I got started, and the Wi-Fi wasn't working. There was no Wi-Fi. You only had Wi-Fi in like the little restaurant. Like there's one small restaurant. And of course that immediately caused anxiety because I'm like, oh my God, like my clients are going to need me and I'm not going to be able to get back to them right now. And like all of these things came up and I'm like, wait a second, like, this is why I'm here. Okay. Like I don't have to answer my clients the minute they message me. Okay. It's okay to give it a couple hours or 24 hours or whatever stated in my contract. Right. But I am so much of a here now person that literally the thought of not being able to connect with my clients at any minute was literally like, oh my God. And then I like had to remind myself, like, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Like I supported my clients before I left. They know I'm here. It'll be fine. Okay. So day 1, we met at the Shala, and which is like a covered area right on the water. And we did morning practices and a bunch of different things. I'm not going to get into the exact practices that we did for a couple of reasons. One, because I'm still sitting with them, to be honest with you. I'm still processing the things that came up for me. I'm still learning what it is I was meant to get from those practices. And I will share more about those practices and those things as I go. But again, like I want to honor the fact that I literally just got home today or yesterday, and I want to hold on to that. Like I want to hold on to that experience a little bit longer without really digging into and having to divulge a bunch of information right now. But the purpose of this podcast is to share with you guys why I went and how this was transformational for me without going too much into depth. We could be here all day. But so what happened is every single day we woke up, we did a morning practice, then we went to breakfast as a group. Then after breakfast, we normally would meet in the temple, and that's where a second practice would take place. After that practice normally lasted, a couple hours. Then we would go back to the restaurant and have lunch. After lunch, depending on the day, we had anywhere from like an hour and a half to 3.5 hours break. And this is where, we would go swim, go lay in the sun, go walk, really anything that we wanted to do in that time, journal. So that was a fun little free time that we had. And most of the time that free time was all of us being spent alone, right? You would think like, you're used to going to like these types of things. I am, at least with a group, and you would think like on your breaks, you would like do things together or sit together. But we all just kind of like took that time and space to sit with ourselves and be with ourselves and be in the moment. And that break in itself was also something that was very uncomfortable, but gave me a lot of insight on things that I need to do for myself. So every single day was structured very similar, but very different practices. Again, this is a spiritual embodiment style of retreat. So, if you look that up, you can find different that you do. Anyways, what I wanted to share as far as, going through this experience, now that you guys know what we did, how I felt, and kind of a layout of what it looked like while I was there, is that this in itself taught me that oftentimes as business owners and as moms and all of these things, we get caught up in looking for like what's next, right? So for example, for me in my business, what's next? When am I getting the next sale? When am I going to launch the next thing? When am I going to start doing this? When am I going to start doing this? Okay. My kids get home. Okay. When are we going to leave for this? When are we going to do this? What is this? When is this? Right? Like it's always looking for that next thing, and like always going through life, just like one after the other after the other. And, I constantly talk about and speak to women getting stuck in this monotonous routine that also changes their body composition and makes them not feel happy in their body, right? But this is also validation that you can get in this routine and still be 100% okay with your body and feel like no things are off and feel like there's more and feel like you're missing out, because that's where I was at. And I could get emotional just talking about this. Like I can feel it, but I don't want to be that way, right? I want to have intention with everything that I do, but I don't always want to be chasing that next thing. I don't always want to be worried about, what we're going to do as a family and when and why, and totally miss out on the moments of just being there. Right. And this is where it can get emotional, because if you have kids, you have a very limited time to experience these things with your kids. And when you get in this routine and you get in this spot of constantly like on the go, and what are we doing here? And I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to be here. Oh, and this needs to get done, right? We totally fucking miss out on all of the things that are happening right in front of us. And I know life will get in the way, and I know I'll be probably back in this spot at some point, but I feel like I have a very big acknowledgement and recognition now of my tendencies, what I do that don't support the life that I want to create and the presence that I want to have in my business and with my family and with my life, and for me as a Virgo, shout out to all the Virgos out there. One of the biggest things for me is that I want to do everything myself. I don't want to ask for help, because I'm a strong woman and I don't fucking need your help. I can do it on my own, and I can do it on my own better. Right. Well, that in itself attributes to a lot of the things that I've been doing in my life and where I'm at today. So there's a grandmother who attends, or some sort of, guide through these practices, and she was there for a couple of them. And one of the things she said to me, and she spoke only Spanish, so Sigrid, who hosted this event, was translating for her. And I was asking her, like, what are some things that I can do, when I go home, to be able to feel like I feel now here, feel present, feel like I know what my body's telling me. I feel good, about my vision and what I want to create for my life, without getting back into that monotonous routine of go, 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 go. And she said to me, you need to ask for help. You need to allow people in your life to help support you. And that's when she was like, she asked Sigrid, she doesn't happen to be a Virgo, is she? And we all laughed, because I'm like, yes, I'm a Virgo. And she said, you also need to acknowledge people and how good they're doing around you, because I believe you have a tendency to always want perfection, always think that something's not good enough. And she said to me, that translates to your kids, right? Even if it's like them cleaning their room, if they clean their room or they want to messy up their room, great. Let them messy their room. Let them do that and celebrate that with them. Things don't have to be perfect all the time. And I can delegate and I can enjoy imperfect moments. And there was just a lot of those things that really hit home for me. And, and again, like I'm holding back tears because it's amazing to feel the way that I'm feeling right now and acknowledge the direction that I'm going. And for lack of better words, just feel aligned with my business, how I can serve my clients, how I want to show up as a mom, how I want to show up as a wife, all of those things. So yeah. So this is, for any of you guys listening who might feel like you've been in a similar place, right? Where you feel like something is just missing. I want you to explore that. And that might mean being really uncomfortable, taking a trip by yourself, sitting alone by yourself, going for the things that maybe other people don't understand. And I just want to encourage you guys to do that. I want to encourage you to be different. I want to encourage you to be you. I want to encourage you to acknowledge the things that you feel on a daily basis that maybe you're pushing to the side, because no matter what it is, if you want to grow a business, if you want to transform your body, if you want to build a house, if you want to build, this life, no matter what it is, I can tell you right now that if you're not present for any of those things, none of those things matter, right? So being able to be present and be grateful for what you have today and live with intention without constantly chasing the next best thing or constantly wondering what's next or trying to build what's next or having expectations, right? So I hope you guys found this helpful. I enjoyed sharing this with you. I will share more about this as I get further into my own journey. This is all very new for me and still uncomfortable to talk about, but I think there's other women that need to hear this and need to know that that thing that they're feeling or that they're missing something or that they're being called to do something and they feel it in their gut and they're just afraid, that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay. Just fucking go for it. You have nothing to lose. And like me, you might feel sick as fuck and like feeling like you're going to regret it before you even do it, but follow through. Give yourself a chance because you deserve that. So I love you guys all so much. Thank you guys so much for joining. I will be sharing more about this. If you guys are interested in these retreats, the retreat that I attended is the I Am Her retreat. You can find them on Instagram at I Am Her retreats, and you'll be able to find a bunch of information there. I know she has 3 coming up next year, and I think she has 1 more this year, and it's Sigrid, who is the facilitator for these events. I highly, highly, highly recommend. But I'm excited to share more with you guys about this, the practices that went on, but I will leave you guys with this now. And as always, let's keep it unfiltered. If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you enjoyed this new episode, and if you did, please leave me a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, keep it unfiltered.